Hello, welcome back to Connect to Care. I'm Tiffany Lloyd. I'm the Education Coordinator with The Gracious Mind. I'm here to bring you tips and tricks and ideas about the interpreting field and beyond. We are continuing our Pride Summer and we are moving into a topic of movement this month. And we're going to talk all about moving our bodies and different types of movement in the field and everything like that. So we're excited to jump in. Today we're going to cover a topic that's really important, which is repetitive strain injury. Repetitive strain injury, or RSI, is a type of injury that happens because you're using your hands or doing some type of motion over and over and over again. This is pretty common with interpreters for us to get these types of injuries, and it's important that we do some things to try to alleviate the pain or try to avoid that injury altogether. I just want to emphasize, I'm not a medical doctor, so if you are concerned that you might have some type of repetitive strain injury, I encourage you to seek medical attention, to talk with your doctor, and they may be able to find a really good route for you to take care of that injury. And it might be an approach of stretches, it might be an approach of medication, and it might be an approach of maybe physical therapy, massage, and chiropractic work. These are just some preventative tips and stretches that we use and I use in my interpreting practice all the time. One of the first things that I like to do before I start an assignment is wiggle my fingers, and I like to do this on a desk. So you wiggle your fingers up and down like this, pushing onto the desk so that you can kind of get that resistance and kind of get that blood flowing in your fingers. I do this for about 30 seconds. Another stretch that I really like to do to help the wrist pain that sometimes happens is I like to roll my wrists, and I'll roll them out for 30 seconds. You'll hear my wrists pop sometimes, and then roll them back in 30 seconds. And then I like to shake them out. Another stretch that I like for your wrists and for your forearms here is to do a little one-arm stretch. So you want to push your palm out and grab the top of your fingers and do a slight pull. You don't want to pull too hard because you can injure yourself, so you want to make sure that it's just slight so you feel a little bit of tension right in the here. And I hold that for 30 seconds and then switch. A few years ago, I was in a motorcycle accident and I actually left with a shoulder injury, and I went through a lot of physical therapy and chiropractic work and massage therapy to help get me to where I am today. And through all of that, I've taken a lot of those tips and tricks and used them for interpreting as well. One of the things that I like to do that my chiropractor recommended, because I am a notorious neck popper, I like to pop my neck all the time. I used to pop my neck probably 8-10 times a day, and now it's probably once or twice a week because of this move that they taught me. And it's to roll your shoulders back. And so you do a small roll first, and then a bigger roll, and then the third time is a much bigger roll. And then you want to take your head and tilt it to the side and tilt it to the other side. And you can do that as many times as you want throughout the day as you start to feel that tension in your shoulders. Do the 3 rolls, getting bigger as you go on, and your head to the right and the head to the left. If your neck pops while you're doing that, it's okay, it's really natural, so don't worry about it. Another one that's really good for the shoulders, since we use them so much in interpreting, is to go to a wall and take your hand and along the side of the wall, climb up the wall with your hand. And so it looks like this until your hand is all the way straight and your body is against the wall. When you're first starting, you may not be able to get that close to the wall because you may not be as flexible, and your shoulders may not be as flexible. So it's okay if there's a little bit of distance between you and the wall, but you want to try and crawl up that wall to get as close to it as possible and then crawl back down. Hopefully these tips and tricks have been helpful for you. They've been really helpful for me. We want to hear what works for you when you're starting to feel sore or you have any kind of soreness in your arms or your shoulders. What's your favorite go-to stretch? So drop them down below, and if you have other resources or information, drop it down below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Click like and subscribe, and we are excited to bring you more information about movement next week.